Hi, I'm Mandy. I'll be a therapist today. Guys, for the sake of the video, just a brief background on my patient. His name is Patrick. He's a 28-year-old male. He presents today with just some concerns about his family life at this point. He's feeling down about and some guilt about making a transition from where he currently lives in Houston. He wants to relocate to pursue his career in music. He also recently had a baby and is dealing with some detachment issues. He's not feeling that attachment that he'd like to feel. And he also wants to separate from his wife and his family. So he'd like to talk a little bit about the feelings he's having. So, Patrick, tell me a little bit about what brings you in today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Well, I'm here because I've been having these feelings of I don't know how to put it, not wanting to be a father. I have a recently newborn, a few months old. However, I don't feel any attachment to the child. I don't feel like I'm like growing to love him or grow or like I want to be a father. It's just a feeling that I don't think I'm suited for this. There's other feelings mixed in with that from family history, family life. Um, it's kind of I want to do certain things, but I don't feel like it's going to work out, or I feel like I'm compelled to stay here because of certain reasons.
Okay. Well, I want to let you know that I appreciate you taking the time to come in today to share this with me. It must take a lot of courage. I want to commend you on that. I also want to let you know that this is a safe space. Whatever we discuss remains confidential. And I just, I'm trying to clarify exactly what you mean by there was some issues in your family life. Expand a little bit on that. Tell me what you mean about your family life that you think is causing you to feel this way at this point.
Well, I grew up in a household where my father was a alcoholic. He's getting over that now and trying to deal with sobriety, but he was very much an alcoholic. However, both of my parents were very what's the word, into church and very saintly is the way of putting it. So they always made us feel a certain way about doing certain things, and it was wrong to do certain things, and it was against God's will and things of that sort. However, he was still an alcoholic. I had a, I have a older brother who was treated like gold. He couldn't do no wrong in my parents' eyes. He's now enlisted into the military and serving his country, and here I am not doing anything. So I've never always been the black sheep of the family, so to speak. Just could never do nothing right. I didn't finish high school. Dropped out at an early age. It was just a lot to deal with then. Didn't finish high school, so don't have a high school education or a high school diploma, so to speak of. And just been dealing with a lot of those issues, and I think I feel that I've brought him into my marriage and into this relationship, and trying to deal with those.
Hmm. It sounds like you're dealing with a lot at this time. Um, it must be really difficult for you to feel the way you felt as a child, as a black sheep. Um, Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, like I said, just could never do nothing right. It just seemed to transition from childhood into teenage years now to adulthood, and it just seems like it's just the same thing. It's just been following me. Where now, like I said, I have a child, but I can't even love the child properly. I think I'm scared that I'm going to be my father, or where I'm going to be my parents, or fear, sorry, that I'm gonna fail this child in some way. So it's for me that I never received that love and bond from my parents, and I think I'm shadowing that over to my child basically, and I just don't feel that there's any love there or there's no bond there for the child. Um, my wife and I recently moved to Houston, where I had the opportunity to pursue a music career with a band and with an amateur band. We've been having a hard time at it. You know, she's trying to find a job. I can't find a job at this moment. I love the band, but at the same time, it's not paying the bills. So, with the feeling of me wanting to leave my child and my wife, and it's not that I don't love my wife, it's just that I don't feel like it's going to work out or it's going to last. I have no means of providing for myself, and if I leave my wife the way things are, she will have no means of providing for herself and the child.
So, if I understand correctly, you're saying that because of your lack of connection during childhood with your parents, or your parents not having that connection with you, you feel that has affected you today as a father. You're also saying that not only are you having issues with that connection to your baby because of your childhood issues with your dad, you're saying that you have some financial issues as well as you're trying to grow in your career. You mentioned that you're an amateur and you're still trying to build. So you have numerous things that are affecting you at this time. Tell me about some things you've been doing to cope.
Well, the only way I have been dealing with the situation, honestly, is through my music, playing in the band. That seems to take my mind off things and to put it at ease for a certain time. But even when that is finished, I still have to face reality, as it were, and go back and then realize that I really don't want to, be a father.
So you're saying that you really enjoy the music and you use it as therapy. I can see how you can feel that way. I like to listen to music too. It is soothing. But the bottom line is you're still feeling like it takes you away for the moment, but you still have to deal with the reality of separating from your wife and your child.
Yes.
Do you have any good memories that you like to share about your baby? Tell me some things about.
Well, I really don't have any so-called good memories because I try to not have too much interaction with the child right now. I feel it's best to keep my distance. I let my wife, handle the day-to-day business with the child, and I don't have too much interaction with my son.
Wow. So how does that make you feel?
It honestly, it just makes me feel like I just need to be out and not be around them because if I'm not interacting with them while I'm there, why should I be there? I don't have that urge, that feeling. So I just need to leave and let them be them.
Okay. So that must be really difficult for you. Have you had a conversation with your wife in terms of, what's the plan moving forward, or what do you think about that? Maybe having that talk so that you guys can kind of come to terms with what the plan is moving forward.
We haven't talked about it. I just feel that it's not going to be an easy talk. She's not going to understand what feeling or what I'm going through, and she's definitely not gonna understand me wanting to leave. So I think at this point the best course of action is to just do it, and we'll deal with the repercussions or where the cookie lands or whatever the saying goes. We'll deal with that when it comes to it. We cross that bridge, as they say.
Okay. So the other issue is the financial aspect of growing in your career. So what are some plans there? Have you made any plans in terms of maybe finding another band or?
No, the band's not a issue for me. It's right now I just can't find a job to support to pay bills. The band is a hobby. I would love to turn it into a career, but right now I still have the issue of paying bills and needing a 9 to 5 job.
Okay. So you're saying you still have to cope with the day-to-day issues.
Correct.
Okay, well, I think for today we're gonna wrap up this session. There's a lot more to discuss. I don't know if you would like to return maybe in 2 weeks so that we can come up with some strategies for coping and maybe some solutions. Maybe, we can collaborate on this. So would you like us to schedule an appointment? How would you like to proceed? I'll be happy to work with you next week or in the next 2 weeks.
Well, this sounds pretty good, Doc. I'll give you a call and let you know what we can do or what works for me.
All right, thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Okay.